going on, folks? Welcome back. Something about Web3. We were gone a week and the entire market crashed. I can't believe it. That's what happens. I mean, we're basically the only ones holding this market up with our podcast. So, right?
Yep.
Something like that. My name is Dan. I'm here with Kazuaki as always. What's going on? We've had an interesting 2 weeks. I guess a
Very
lot has
interesting.
happened.
Yep.
Seems like forever now.
Yeah.
The last 2 weeks. We didn't even talk about like Celsius or anything. I mean, none of that was happening. I think we were still talking about Terra 2 weeks ago.
Yep.
So yeah, all that happened. The we should have a section where we review what we talked about, and then we could decide if what we were
hmm
talking about made sense or not. Or is that too
hmm
introspective?
hmm
Anyway, I hope you dumped your OP tokens. I'll just say that. There's the perspective.
Yep.
Um, they had some other kind of mess up, right? Maybe I don't even know. Everyone's just getting hacked and messing up right and left these days. So, um, but I think depending on what side of crypto Twitter you're on, I think there was a lot of positive stuff happening, or a lot of positivity in NFT NYC happening, which is
hmm
still happening at the moment. Maybe it's the last day or something. Um, from what I saw on Twitter, everyone was doing a lot of cocaine last night, a lot of after parties, a lot of enemies becoming friends. I saw
hmm
several ladies posing for photos with Ryder Rips, the
Nice.
Milady mortal enemy. Um, and Kazuaki, you showed me this, that Ryder Rips claimed that it was the Ryder Rips Board Ape Yacht Club. Is that what it's officially called? I don't even know.
I don't even know.
Um,
RRBAYC. I don't know.
yeah, I think he tweeted at one point that he was going to call it R Apes, but that was just a bad
All right.
idea.
Okay.
Yeah, because yeah. Anyway, so it became the number one NFT on OpenSea. Uh,
hmm
do you know what this project is? I was following it. Were you following it?
Yeah. I think we talked about the like I think a couple weeks ago.
Yeah. So hopefully you got your RAPE
hmm
going at that point,
Yeah.
because I think they were going for quite a bit of money, and there was a documentary that came out as well on
Wow.
YouTube.
hmm
Yeah, a video essay, an hour long, talking about the similarities between Yuga Labs and the Third Reich of Germany.
hmm
I didn't watch it, but I can just imagine what they said. Um, and So the idea here was sort of a art, I don't know what you call it, performance art of counterfeiting the Bored Apes, handmade on Foundation. I think Foundation was the site he was using. Um, and you would just like DM him and send him one ETH, or I don't even know if it was that much. It might have been cheaper than that, and you would just like mint a fake copy of an ape.
hmm
Um, I think it pointed to the same IPFS
hmm
and everything. It was like basically the exact same.
Yeah. Yeah.
So from that aspect, it's kind of a performance art. But the reality is, well, it was, so it's interesting. Right when he first did the project, it got banned on Foundation, and it also got banned on OpenSea. And then I think he got like lawyers involved and sent them a
Oh.
letter and was like, "This is a
Wow.
conceptual art project, blah blah blah."
hmm
So it was unbanned. But now you're saying it's banned again on OpenSea?
Yep. Yep.
Yeah,
His project got banned, I think 2 days ago.
2 days ago. It
And then
couldn't be
like
the number. I mean, like they would have
yeah.
tolerated it if it was like just chilling, but I think it being the number one is pretty bad. Especially like people who don't know anything about crypto and are just like
hmm
rich assholes and are like, I'm gonna buy a Bored Ape. You could easily accidentally buy one of his. So
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, it's interesting. One of his proteges. I don't even know if it was one of his proteges, but everyone was saying it was someone that was a big fan of his. We'll say that at least. Started making their own like Miladies, like trying to do the Rider Rips Bored Ape, but with Miladies, but like no one cared. And he just stopped doing it, and everyone made fun of him, and it was pretty
Yeah,
funny.
yeah,
Because it's like whatever. Obviously, there's a grift here going on with Ryder Rips, but like he has some cachet in terms of being an artist, like that had done other projects before.
yeah.
Um, to say, "Oh, I'm doing conceptual art," like, okay, sure, he's a professional artist. You can't deny that. This was just someone who was just trying to like counterfeit Miladies. But
Mm-hmm.
if people aren't aware, like, if you want to use a Milady as your profile pic, like nobody cares. You can do
Right.
that. So and there's like tons of derivatives and stuff that you could get too, unofficial ones. No one cares. Just having a Milady profile pic, you get all the negative all the negative effects of being a Milady, uh, or no positive effects. So just go
Yeah.
ahead and do it if you feel like it. But anyway, yeah, NFT NYC is happening. It looks pretty fun,
Did you
to
find
be honest.
any interesting project from NFT and NFC?
Well, Tubby Cats apparently had a big party, and Tubby
Mm-hmm.
Cats and Miladies are kind of mortal enemies.
Yeah.
As did Wassies, also mortal enemies of Miladies. Basically every NFT project. So I guess I learned a little bit more about those. Also some like kind of Milady affiliated NFT projects. Not really affiliated, but a lot of the same people bought them. The Senko Game Court and Ad World, and other NFTs. I think I've talked about on this podcast. Had parties. There's a Milady rave. But did I see any other interesting projects? Not really. I mean,
Mm.
someone someone said on Twitter, I saw that like Bored Apes and that type of stuff is basically the Ed Hardy of NFTs. Like it's
That's so
like kind of
true.
cringe, like cheesy, um, and
That's
like
so
not
true.
fashionable.
Yeah.
And I guess I tend to agree in some aspects, but especially if you
Yeah.
go into like Lazy Lions and like the other stuff that's just like just super trash looking.
Mm-hmm.
But they're still there. I don't know. I mean, it's not a great time to be doing anything new, I guess.
Right.
Oh, I did hear that Genie was acquired, right, by Uniswap.
Hmm. Oh yeah.
See that? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that's cool. I've used Genie before, for sure, and I've used Uniswap before. I'm not sure what the game plan is there. I guess I could have read about it, but I didn't. Um, but that's interesting to me. I listened to the podcast Bankless, where they had the Uniswap founder on, and he was saying that they were planning to do a lot with Genie and NFTs in general, and integrating NFTs into Uniswap V3 somehow.
Hmm.
Uh, Probably to do something similar to like NFTX.io, where you can like stake NFTs into a contract to receive like a fungible version of that NFT,
Okay.
um, form of a token, and then all of the staked NFTs in that staking pool, you could redeem that fungible version
Hmm.
for any specific one. But you like if you when you deposit your NFT into the contract, you get like one NFT token, and then to withdraw an NFT from the contract, you can either with you can withdraw one randomly for one token, or you could pay like 1.02 tokens to pick one, you know?
Hmm.
But the fact that you have your NFT in the pool, it you earn tokens over time. So like after a month of it being in the pool or something like that, you'll have the 1.02 tokens, so you can just pick one. But anyway, I'd like to see more stuff like that because I think NFTX is like a really important project that not enough people are like into, in my
Mm-hmm.
opinion. But I don't know. So I don't know. Did you hear anything cool?
Uh, not really.
No.
Not really.
The oh, go ahead.
Oh, no, no, no.
The
I just
28th,
28th. Okay.
NFT Japan,
Oh, okay.
Shibuya, Trunk Hotel,
Okay.
7:30. Um, the flowers guy is going to be there. What's his name? Murakami?
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Takashi Murakami.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. He's going to be there.
yeah. Cool. Yeah, he's been doing like pretty famous NFT project, right?
Yeah, he did the Murakami flowers, and he did that
Mhm.
other one that's like the anime PFPs. What is that
Yeah.
one called? Not Adzuki's. Clone X. That's what it's called, right?
Okay.
Clone X.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So he'll be there.
Mm.
He's like a really famous artist other than NFTs. Maybe one of the famous artists to ever make an NFT.
Oh yeah.
Um, Definitely more famous than Beeple and people
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
Andy Warhol of Japan in a lot of ways.
Pretty much, yeah.
Um, has a cool beard as well.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Apparently, he wears a T-shirt that says "There is no Discord" or something like that. Have you seen that? Because he
No.
doesn't have a Discord for any of his projects, so
Right.
he wears a shirt that says "There's no Discord."
That's
That's
cool.
pretty cool. Yeah, I
Uh,
mean it's cool because he's kind of an older guy, right? So like, it's
yeah.
awesome that he's so into NFTs
Yeah.
and everything.
Oh,
And I think he made a public apology on Twitter recently about the value of the NFTs going down.
wow.
Yeah, which is like kind of funny because all like that. It's not like he did something, like,
No.
but whatever.
Oh, that's crazy.
NFT. Oh, the other thing I saw at NFT NYC, which I thought was hilarious, was like the Board Ape party that had like Amy Schumer as a guest. Did you see this?
Oh, no.
They had Amy Schumer come out and do like quote unquote comedy, and then apparently her like comedy act was all about how like people who have NFTs are lame and stupid. It's like what
Oh
the
my
hell?
God, that's so cool.
God. So that's NFT NYC for you. But apparently
Mm,
the parties are awesome. A lot of cool parties.
yeah.
And obviously everyone on NFT Twitter is over there. So I gotta go. I gotta go next year or something.
Yeah.
I'm FOMO'd. I got a lot of FOMO. So anyway, the NFT side of Twitter I think is still popping. Like, I don't know, people are still going wild. And I think yeah, like NFT people, at least more so than your typical crypto Twitter, people care less about the price,
Right.
especially if it's an affordable project like a Tubby Cat or Wasi or whatever. Like if it costs
Mm-hmm.
less than 10 grand when you bought it, you're not gonna like, you know, have a mental breakdown if it goes to $1,000.
Yeah.
Um, versus if you bought a crypto punk or um, an ape and you lost like $1 million. It's brutal.
Yeah.
Um, and also, I think if you're buying like smaller cap NFT projects, you're probably just like more interested in having fun and like instead of it being like generational wealth.
Hmm.
So at least that's how I feel about it. I mean, I'm still like buying NFTs every day. I can't stop. I'm obsessed. And they're just getting cheaper every day. So it's like
Oh yeah, that's good.
it gets even easier. Um, yeah, I just minted one today that was like a McDonald's themed Milady derivative called McLady. Um, that's actually
That's
true.
awesome.
That's
Yeah.
actually true. Um, anyway, but the crypto Twitter side of things, past couple weeks has just been hell. And I don't know about you, but like I feel like there's a lot of stuff that I just didn't need to know about that I know about now.
Mm-hmm.
Like I didn't know who, and maybe I'm gonna sound stupid, but I didn't know who like Zhu Su was.
Right.
I didn't know what Three Arrows Capital was. I didn't know what any of this stuff was. I never heard of any of this crap.
I didn't either.
Okay, so it's not just me. Um, okay, good. Well, that's good. But I guess the big thing that kind of kicked off the last meltdown in prices is Celsius pausing withdrawals, like literally a day after they made some announcement saying that they would never do that, which is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So kind of a Luna situation all over again. They weren't. They do have a stable coin. Correct me if I'm wrong. Celsius does have a stable coin, right? But that wasn't what caused the problems. The Basically, I think their problem is a fallout from Luna, in that they were like invested in stuff that was exposed to Luna. Well, they had been hacked before, right? Like
Yep.
they were invested in Badger DAO, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that was kind of the first time they lost tens of millions of dollars. The problem is that the investment money, allegedly, I'll say allegedly because I don't know enough about this to say anything definitively, but allegedly, people who had deposited money with Celsius, that money was used to yield farm with by Celsius, right? I probably don't even need to say allegedly. I think that was the point of Celsius. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but
Mm-hmm.
like, I don't think that's like a secret. I don't think that was like something they did illicitly or like embezzle the money, right? I think people deposited money with Celsius because they thought they would be good. Um, what do you call it? Not a hedge fund, but custodian
Mm-hmm.
of their funds, which they were not, because they kept depositing funds and stuff that got hacked. And then the nail in the coffin for them is they deposited funds in Lido, right?
Mm-hmm.
What is your take? I don't think we ever talked about Steth or what staked ETH. Did we ever
Yes.
talk about the token
No.
on the
Uh,
podcast? What is your
nope.
thought on
No.
the whole like Lido thing?
Well, I think. Well, first of all, like they leverage too much, and
Oh
then
yeah.
yeah, and but I think they're doing a really good job on fighting against the people who try to short ETH. But I
Yeah.
don't know. Like, I want to see Celsius winning against those people because like
Oh, you do.
that's gonna
Interesting.
that's gonna cause the price going up. But I think right at this moment, Celsius is not really good because like they opened about like your liquidation position. So, but
Yeah.
on the other hand, like the people who try to short ETH, they don't have any liquidation position yet. So, well, like they didn't open the short position. So,
Mm.
but yeah, like I said, I want to see Celsius winning.
They could end up short squeezed as a la GameStop.
Hmm.
Celsius become the GameStop or AMC of crypto. That would be
Yeah.
hilarious.
Hmm.
Um, but the whole thing with Lido and their liquidity to me seems insane. And as soon as I had heard about staked ETH
Hmm.
token, not staking your ETH is a separate thing, right?
Yeah.
But the staked ETH token, this idea that you could stake your ETH for the merge, and but stake it with the staking provider who would give you a token that would represent your staked ETH, and then there would be products that would allow you to earn yield on staked ETH. It's just like, I mean, I'm not a fan of locking tokens ever,
Hmm.
ever, um, because it's just like such. I don't know. the gain has to be massive for you to lock away funds because you're just like
Mhm.
losing liquidity like crazy.
Yeah.
Um, so the merge when staked the Steve token is supposed to unlock is supposed to be like 6 months after the merge happens. So you don't even know when it's going to unlock. And then on top of that, to take leverage positions out, that just seems like such a bad combination of things to do. Lock tokens and take leverage. Like do one or the other. If all they did was lock tokens and they weren't leveraged, they would just be chilling. Like they wouldn't be having any problems. Or if they just had leverage, like at least they could manage that and react to it as it happened. But what happened was they did both. They locked tokens, they did leverage, and then when their margin calls started coming in, they had no liquidity to get out of the leverage positions
All right.
because they locked it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like why would you do that? Am I crazy? Like what is wrong with these people? Like it's just a bad combination of ideas. Um and then because of this, like all these big crypto, I don't know what, hedge funds, like Three Arrows Capital that I didn't know anything about 2 weeks ago, apparently, are involved in Celsius and Terra and all these other things, and they've lost a bunch of institutional money.
So, so true. Yeah.
And this bull market, the big meme was institutional money is here. I never expected that retails would be the ones to dump on the institutional traders. But
Mm.
that's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
It's 100% what happened. At least the retail people that have been around since 2017 or before.
Mm-hmm.
I guess a lot of retail traders who are newer, also got dumped on. But like, is there an institutional group out there that's in the green, in the black? Like everyone just lost tons of money. That's what it seems
Yeah.
like. Everyone's just
Yeah.
lost so much money. Not me, of course, but everyone else. Well, at least everyone
Exactly.
who's smarter than me, apparently. Um, I am. There's a new Twitter account. There's a bunch of them, but the first one I think was called USDCBull. Did you see this Twitter account?
Oh no.
They're called USDC Bull, and they post all these memes about how USDC is like the best crypto and how they're so bullish on USDC and that
Nice.
USDC is going to go to the moon and all this stuff. It's so funny, but like legitimately, they're correct. They're absolutely 100% correct
Oh
because
yeah.
USDC is the cryptocurrency that gets pumped by the Federal Reserve. You know,
Yeah.
um, and in my opinion, that's what's causing it's a big part of why crypto is crashing,
Mm-hmm.
because the U.S. dollar is just so strong. And they post a lot of funny memes and stuff. But one thing, one meme that they started that I think is quite accurate. They don't call Ethereum Ethereum. They call it the USDC settlement layer. And
That's
that's
good.
what that's been my strategy for the past, I don't know, 4 months or something. Is that I'm just like all in stables,
Mm-hmm.
um, and I'm still yield farming
Yeah.
stables,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm doing degenerate stuff. But in the end, I'm not holding any non-stable crypto at all.
That's great strategy.
Yeah, I'm USDC bull, so I'm all about it. Like and you can get
Yeah.
like if you get degen, you can get really crazy yields off of USDC and DOT. You know, you just have to do stupid stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But um, but I like that. And then it's you got to the key here is you got to do it yourself. You can't just hand it off to someone like Celsius or Terra.
Yeah. Yeah.
You got to manage it yourself and diversify it yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Understand contract risk. This is not financial advice, but when I do things, um, I do everything myself, and I don't put more than 10% into any one uh, play. Let's call it. I don't know what you would call it. When I'm assembling the money Legos, I don't have more than 10% in any specific configuration because at any point, there's huge contract risk. Something can get hacked, and so if you're diversified like that, and something gets hacked, assuming that the Legos aren't too intertwined, um, you'll be able to, just take a 10% loss or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
And in my opinion, I think USDC is probably going to become the Federal Reserve stablecoin. So, because obviously they're not going to allow DAI. I mean, hopefully DAI still sticks around forever because I think DAI is quite good. But I don't,
Yeah.
I'll tell you this: if USDC got hacked somehow, they would just undo it. It's fully centralized, so they would just undo it. People are getting banned from USDC though. I don't know if you saw that on Twitter, so you have to be careful there. There is a blacklist in the contract. You can go view it, and they can add your address to it, and you lose everything. But they're doing that to comply with FACTA and those types of regulations.
Wow.
I don't think Kim Jong-un is allowed to use USDC. So. But anyway, I mean, what are your thoughts on whatever Paradigm, Three Arrows,
Right. I
all
mean,
these quote unquote big names that I'd never heard of before 2 weeks
yeah.
ago, choosing they just like held down 90%. Like, what the hell are they doing?
I mean, like, remember, like, first, like, Uniswap or like DeFi came out, and then, like, even if DeFi is like over collateralized and running without creation, there are tons of people outside of DeFi, such as like VC or like centralized exchange or like people who put so much leverage on it, will inflate credit and shove money into it. And when they get paid off, they will need a legal tender to tender, and DeFi will be sold entirely. It's like I feel really sorry about like like really cool DeFi projects like Uniswap and Curve and any other stuff. But I mean, like, and then like the crypto newcomers say, oh, crypto is not trustful. So like, I wouldn't touch that. But the reality is like those people who have so much leverage, or like all those VC people causing all the the bull market. I mean, like bear market. Sorry.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know if they caused it, but they're definitely not helping.
No helping. Yeah, that's the right word,
Yeah.
I guess. Yeah.
You said something really interesting, which is that you feel bad for Uniswap and Curve and groups like that, right?
Yeah.
But honestly, do you think they're that upset? I feel like they're probably chugging along. Like, I know Uniswap is still hiring.
Yeah.
I mean, they have really solid business models, don't they? Curve especially, I think, has a very solid business model.
Okay.
There is locking and boosting and all that kind of stuff, but they, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's my understanding Curve, not Convex, but Curve. Convex is a whole different story. Uniswap, Sushi Swap, whatever. They don't. They came before this recent wave of what they call protocol owned liquidity, right? I don't like Uniswap doesn't provide liquidity, do they? I don't think
I
so.
don't think
Curve
so.
doesn't provide liquidity.
Mhm.
It's just a protocol, right? And so without, because so many groups like Convex, for example, they've got these massive treasuries that they're managing, right? And it's not even like user deposits. It's like they're involved in it. Like Bancor. They released the Bancor new version, and they are having like a bank run right now because they're involved in, I wouldn't call it protocol owned liquidity, but they had this like impermanent loss protection thing that was like
Wow.
hyperinflationary on the BNT token, and
Yeah.
like these projects like Uniswap and Curve, I think is so great about them, and what makes them so resilient is like they're not. Craig, I could be totally wrong about this, but Uniswap isn't like sitting on 80% of the supply of Uni tokens, right?
Mm-hmm.
Curve isn't the biggest player in the Curve ecosystem,
Yeah.
you know. Um, and so that makes them very resilient.
Mm.
Good. I think more people like with Ohm and everything like that, and the 3-3 and locking and all this stuff, and Olympus now, and it's just like layers upon layers upon layers of these different strategies that
Mm-hmm.
like the protocols themselves are involved in, and it's just made everything super fragile to the point where like, yeah, if their token goes down, it like kills their project. But that's why does that have to be true? It doesn't, right? Like you could
Mm-hmm.
just be Curve and you could just take fees and you could
Right.
just make insane amounts of money and not have to be so complicated about it.
Mm.
I think, right?
Yeah.
It's called business models. I couldn't explain to you what a business model of Convex is, to be honest.
Right.
Well, I guess I
I
could,
know.
but I would do it in a negative and insulting way. So, um, anyway, speaking of which, Convex has been hacked today, like an hour ago. Um, Pretty simple attack, but with a little extra spice in it. Um, so if you're involved in Convex, I think you're probably okay. But if you used Convex in like the last 24 hours, you're probably not okay. You're gonna have to figure
Mm.
out if you've been hacked or not. Someone hacked the DNS of Convex, hijacked DNS, replaced the contract addresses within the DApp with their own um, contract addresses. Or I don't even know if it's a contract address or an EOA, but they mined a contract address that had the same first four and last four as the official Convex address, thereby making it slightly more difficult to see what was happening. Of course, I think MetaMask would still tell you if it was a new contract, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it only looks slightly different. So that's a big problem. Um, I guess this is why a lot of these sites use IPFS, right?
Yep.
That's something I never thought about before. I've always been very annoyed by Aave and Uniswap and other things with like launch app, and then it pops up this thing and says this is not hosted by us. This is hosted on IPFS, and we take no responsibility and blah 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 blah. But those IPFS links are permanent, right? So you don't have to worry about this type of attack. I guess with an app hosted on IPFS, probably. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I think that's true. But anyway, so yeah, people I guess in the last I don't know maybe day or so have been depositing their stuff not actually in Convex but in some other website or in some other wallet. What a bummer for people in the yield farming community, but what are you gonna do? Sucks. I guess only 5 people were attacked,
Oh God.
but still, um, yeah. What Convex? I mean, that's got to be a brutal beating. I haven't looked at the price of Convex in a long time. But I remember earlier this year that it was just like, well, boom, like massive. Um, what do you call it? Massive price. That was $5, less than $5. Earlier this year was $50, so that sucks.
Mm.
Could always go down 90% more though. So if it's 50 cents, maybe I'm gonna buy it. I don't know.
Yep.
By the way, Celsius up 10% today.
Nice.
Celsius up 10%. Oh, that's so funny. That is so funny. Man, if you bought it at the all-time low, 2 weeks ago at 18 cents, you're up you're up like 10x. Now you're up 5x.
Whoa.
Um, if you bought the Pico bottom, as we like to say, ay ay ay. Um, I mean, what is your Kazuaki? Give us some wisdom here. What are we supposed to do? Everything's getting hacked. Everyone's losing all their money. What what should people do? If they're listening now, 35 minutes into the podcast, they're gonna make it. But not financial advice, but more of a mental, spiritual advice. What do you have for our listeners?
No, you just need to be a USDC bull.
Okay, there you go. So it was financial advice, really, but no, it's not financial advice. But at least the memes I think are solid.
Yeah.
There's also like now they got like the Frax Bull and like the
Mhm.
Tether Bull and all these stupid ones.
Yeah, just follow USDC bull one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, I saw $1 billion of Tether was minted while we were gone.
Mm.
Not an unusual thing to happen, but in this market, it seemed kind of unusual. Tether obviously like would be insane if something happened to Tether.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it seems pretty solid. I like how is if it's going to collapse, I think it would have collapsed by now. It's definitely trading under $1 for the last month. Have you seen that? Tether
Mm-hmm.
has been consistently under $1 for the last month, but
Yeah.
it's never gone under 99 cents in the last year or whatever. Um, it's trading over 0.999 cents. So like
Yeah.
not that much arbitrage there, but seems solid. I don't know. And
Yeah.
and and I had heard on Twitter and stuff that like people are cashing out of Tether and they're not having any problem doing that. So
Mm.
um I guess good for them, right?
Yeah.
We'll see what happens. Probably next week we're going to be talking. Tether collapsed this week. And, yeah, who knows? Who knows? That's pretty terrifying. That domino is still there,
Yeah.
teetering, so to speak. Um, Solana's coming out with a phone. Did you hear about that?
Yeah. I just saw
Not
that.
much news this week.
I just
Are you going to
saw
buy
that.
the Solana phone?
I have no idea. Solana phone? Wow. I
All
don't know
right.
about that.
Here's a question. What cryptocurrency would you buy a phone for? Like if a crypto project
Oh,
said we're launching a phone, which crypto project would you buy the whatever phone? Would you buy a USDC phone, for example?
probably, yeah.
You would buy the USDC phone? I don't know about that. I don't know. Me, I would buy the let's pick a real winner. What was that one that was like for dentists? Do you know what I'm talking
I
about?
don't
Dentacoin or some crap like that?
know.
You remember that one? This is
uh,
like from years ago. It used to be like in the top 20 cryptocurrencies during the ICO craze. Yeah, I'd buy that. I'd buy the
Dent?
Dentacoin
Dent
phone.
coin?
Yeah, it's like for dentists.
Okay.
I don't know. I could be making that up, but I swear that was
Um,
true. Steam. I'll buy Steam phone.
oh, Steam is cool.
Yeah, Steam. And God, all these coins suck. Even for a joke, I wouldn't trust these. so many garbage coins. Uh oh, here's a good one. I'd buy Mona phone. How about that?
Mm,
Yeah.
that'll be
Throwback.
cool. Yeah, yeah,
Mona.
yeah.
Yeah. Where's what sometime you'll have to I don't know if you know the history of it. Um but being Japanese, I feel like Mona coin is the Japanese cryptocurrency in many ways. It's
Mm-hmm.
birthed in Japan, right?
Yeah.
You know the history behind Mona?
I'm not really.
It like came from 2 Channel, right? Or something.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. You know what? Monocoin is at 50 cents right now. And
Wow, 50 cents?
50 cents.
Okay.
And at its highest, it was only like, I mean, at its very highest back in 2018, it hit like $17 or something. But off its
Oh,
like
wow.
most recent peak, it went up to $4 ish.
Yeah.
Well, actually, Monocoin's doing pretty good.
Yeah.
Oh no, wait, Monocoin, yeah, well, at 50 cents. Right, that's, yeah, 50 cents. So it's not down 90%. It's only down
Mm.
80%. That's pretty good. So yeah, I'm gonna buy the Monocoin phone. Um, the market cap $53 million seems like a good deal.
Yeah.
Um,
It looks like you can. Oh, no, wait. You can only buy mostly from the exchange in Japan, like Zai, Bitflyer, Bitbank.
yeah,
Yeah.
probably on like Poloniex, if that is that still around, or
Um,
the really crappy exchanges.
yeah.
The good old days. You remember before DeFi,
Oh,
and you
yeah.
just use exchanges for everything,
Mm-hmm.
and you'd have like accounts at all these different exchanges.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Those are good times.
I know. A lot of
Coinbase.
people try to, yeah, a lot of people visit like foreign country to open up a bank account so that they can do
Yeah,
arbitrage.
yeah.
Oh,
Miss those days. It was a lot. I don't know. It felt a lot sketchier. It felt a lot
yeah.
shadier then, didn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But in that way, it really felt like you were doing something more interesting. Now it seems a little
Yeah.
bit boring, right?
Mm-hmm.
A
Yeah.
little bit boring with all these TradFi people running around.
I know.
By the way, I heard the TradFi people hate when you post anime on the timeline. So,
Mm. Okay.
if you want to scare them away, that's a good way to do it.
Yeah. Let's try. Let's immerse them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's all we got for this week. I don't know. Is there anything else? Probably
Um.
something else is getting hacked at the moment that we're unaware
Yeah.
of.
Just a short one. Um. Footballer Cristiano Ronaldo. He became a he signed a partnership, NFT partnership with Binance.
Okay.
And then what I
Why?
think is like, I don't know. I don't know what he's gonna do, what Binance gonna do. But the one I saw the crypto Twitter people saying, "Hey, if you're serious about crypto, you should change your icon with the laser eye."
Hmm. Interesting.
But I don't think he would.
Yeah, seriously. The I will say the NFT side of Twitter is way more fun than the crypto side.
Yeah.
Um, the NFT side definitely feels shadier, like more
Yeah.
old school. But also, there's a lot of stupid, like really stupid new people in it. It's an interesting mix. It's an interesting mix. Um, yeah, if you're like bummed out about the markets right now, like go buy a stupid NFT and slap it on and
Oh yeah.
jump in NFT Twitter because it's really fun. I highly recommend it. So that's my spiritual advice for surviving the bear market.
Yeah.
Oh, here's one more thing. One last thing. This will be a special interest to all of our listeners, I'm sure. There's a new DAO called Femboy DAO. Have you heard of this?
Uh-uh.
They're currently running a contest to design um, socks.
Okay. Fanboy
So,
down.
if you're bullish on things like MEV and stuff like that, you might want to try to design some thigh high socks.
Mm.
And I'm sure that's a community that 100% will have no TradFi people in. So
That's so true.
you can go check that out. If you're not aware, I think probably all of the top MEV searchers are trans. So you know, and I'm not saying that in a negative way. I just think that's a fact, or they're pretending to be. I don't even
Oh
know.
yeah.
So when you see them posting the anime on the timeline, they know what they're doing
Mm.
when it comes to the dark forest.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess we'll leave it at that. Maybe don't check that. I'm looking at the Twitter right now. It's pretty bad.
Yeah.
So maybe
Yeah.
maybe don't check it out.
Yeah.
Oh God.
It's gonna be a pretty controversial.
I take that back. Go check it out. It's pretty funny. All right. Well, I think all 12 people that listen to this podcast are going to unsubscribe now. But
Yeah.
if you don't, we'll see you next week. Until then, we don't have a sign off or anything, do we? I just play a weird noise at the end.
I don't know.
Right? All right.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see you next week.
All right.